Well, good morning, Jeannie Barncat. It's good to see you, sweetie. How are you doing this morning? Hey, we got Mr. Pablo Barncat, too. Hey, buddy. Good to see both of you guys. And welcome back to the farm this morning, everybody. It is a misty, magical fall morning on the farm. And I've got some new updates to share with you guys, particularly with our farm's newest additions. I think I can hear them. I can definitely hear them. Don't see any large white farm dogs here, but I do see a couple of loud goats. Good morning, girls. How are you two doing? Oh, good to see you, Bluey. How's it going? You liking your new rocks? How's it going, Bing? Look at these two. And then, of course, we can't forget the boys. We got Barnacus, Telemachus, and Larn. Hi, guys. So yes, our two new Nubian goats, who are Bingo and Bluey, who you guys saw me do the epic road trip with, they have now officially moved into the farmyard, and so they're in here living with all of our other goats. I was quarantining them for a couple of days in that pen. It was about 5 days, and now they officially moved in. I was thinking about doing it for as long as a week, but we actually had some really heavy rains yesterday, and so that's when I made the decision to start the introduction process and see how it goes. Morning, girls. How's it going? Oh, my girls. Want to come out? Come on out. Hi, Bluey. Good morning, Bingo. Hey, Bluey, Bingo, come with me. Don't go over there. Come here. Follow me. Come on, girl. In you go. And go get your sister. In you go. Come on. Both of you in. Both dogs are a little excited with the newbies. Especially now that they're inside their terrain. They're realizing that they're part of their terrain. So let me give you the tour. So this right here is the main yard. It's kind of the main entrance where people come and go. You got Toby Dog back there. And you got Abby Dog, who considers herself the goat boss. And now, girls, if you come this way, right this way, I'm going to introduce you to the goat yard and the boys. Got a bale of hay for these guys. My thinking being to set it out so that everybody can munch on it, create a communal activity. Here you go, boys. You can enjoy too. So yeah, overall, these two are accepted by the boys pretty well. And so now we do have officially a fully fleshed out goat area. You know, part of why I was so cautious is the girls, even though they're not babies anymore, they're still a lot smaller than the boys. Like, here's Telemachus and Barnacus, and you can see both of them. They are actually only slightly taller than the girls, but just in terms of size and stoutness, let's see if I can get a side by side here. Like, you can just see such a big difference between them. And so I wanted to make sure that they didn't get bullied too much. And that was definitely not the case. They were relatively gentle. I think I actually did see Barnacus just showing his dominance. I think Telemachus kind of did the same thing too, because they do need to establish a herd order. You know, Larn, who is the largest of our goats, he's often been kind of like the Mo of my goat configuration so far.
Mo is their leader.
And so I was curious to see how these guys would react to new members that are essentially lower on the totem pole than them. And it seems like the girls are doing good. Isn't that right, sweetie? Hey, Abby Dog, you want to come visit with the goats? Come on in. I think Abby Dog has also done a very nice job acclimating with the goats. You know, she is the goat boss, and so even though Larn thinks he's the leader of the goats, Abby actually thinks she's the leader of the goats. But the real truth of the matter is goats are animals that cannot be led, even though it does look like I just led them all out of the pen. All right, who would like to wear the GoPro this morning? Abby, you want to wear the GoPro? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Who's going to come to me first and wear the GoPro? Oh no, Larn, you knocked over the camera. Hi, Toby Dog. Hey, what's up? Where were you? I think Toby was off on a mission. Hi, buddy. Hi. Oof, you got filthy last night. I know. We've had the first rain and mud in weeks. It's exciting. Okay, Abby, you got to bring this energy down like 3 notches. Abby, calm yourself. Okay, Bingo, you're all set. This way, as we do our morning chores, we'll actually be able to keep a tab on where the goats are and what they're up to. Come on, girls and boys. I'm gonna lead you down here where there's a lot more stuff for you to eat. Yeah, I will admit, it's getting to be that point in the year where all the pasture weeds are starting to become scarcer and scarcer. You know, these guys keep eating through them all. They're doing a good job keeping up with things, but yeah, we're definitely at the end of the growing season. We've had a couple of hard frosts already. And so yeah, pretty soon I'm gonna actually have to start feeding them hay regularly. Oh, Toby, don't drink the dirty duck water. I was just gonna refresh that. So Jess had told me that Nubian goats were louder than most other breeds of goat. But what I'm finding is that Bluey has kind of a cute goat voice. Bingo has the derpiest goat voice possible, and I love it so much. Looks like they found some stuff they like though. Good morning, geese. How's everybody doing this morning? Yeah, out here working the pasture? Good to hear. Did you guys look at how the fog is just kind of rolling in from the hills and coming down? It just makes the whole farm feel like it's shrouded in mystery. Admittedly, when we're having mornings like this where the fog is out and the temperature is like 52, I just feel like the air has just such a tremendous feeling to it. That makes me very, very happy to be here. So probably with the next video you guys see, I will have a lot fewer geese. I'm gonna be doing the butchering season for ducks and geese and the roosters. Like all of that is happening in the next couple of days, which I actually have to get set up for, which I'm gonna need your help with, okay? So now that the girls have vacated this kennel, I need to now take these panels apart and I'm gonna use it for a bird containment system. Because as you guys have noticed lately, it seems like there's a lot of birds all over the place. Ooh, I really like her. I'm really excited to have her in my laying flock, but for example, this boy will be going off to freezer camp. And yes, I know that that's a reality that might hit some folks as harsh, but you know, number one, you can't just keep having infinite animals and have it be okay for your animals, because what will happen is you'll have too many to care for. If you have too many males relative to females, it creates a lot of flock violence. And plus, that's where our household gets our chicken for the year, is basically we hatch out a bunch of chickens in the summer. We take all of the roosters and we end up slaughtering them in the fall, and they become our meat. And so yes, I don't show it because I know not everybody wants to watch it, but I do feel like I need to talk about it or else I'm kind of being dishonest with you guys. And so that's why you hear me probably mentioning this a lot lately. And admittedly, it's not my favorite time of year, and I always have a lot of anxiety leading up to it, not wanting to screw stuff up, like all of those things. And so right now, it's very much on the forefront of my mind. What do you think, Toby Dog? You want to inspect? Come on out, buddy. Abs, why don't you wait there? Of course Toby doesn't have to inspect. He's got to find a spot to pee. You're going to pee on my tractor bucket? Please don't. You're going to try to pee on your friend Pablo Barncat? I don't think he'll like that. But you're going to try to pee on those bushes? If you do that, that's cool. Good job, buddy. Hey, Toby, come here. You got burdock on you. Hang on, I got it off. Pretty soon, Toby and Abby are going to get their pre-winter grooming. That'll be something that happens in the next couple of weeks. All right, Toby, you want to inspect the chicken run? Come on. All right, one more pee. Yeah, check it out. What do you think? So it's actually pretty spacious. It's one way to take 2 10 by 10 fencing panels for, you know, like a dog kennel, and make the most of it by sticking them in between these fences. I've seen like 1 or 2 chickens hop this fence over into Allison's garden. I'm really not that worried about them eating much in the garden, because at this point all the tomato plants are dead and all the good tomatoes have been harvested, and so if a chicken actually even got in there, that would not be a bad thing. We've got some active kale in the back there, but in my experience, chickens don't get too worked up over kale, and if we lose a little bit of kale to some chickens, I'm not gonna sweat it either. But the way I've got this set up is I'll be able to herd the chickens through that gate. I'll make like a little barrier fence right here, and this way I can just drive them into there. I'll make sure all of them are in there the night before. That way I can withhold feed really easily. And then when it comes time to do the work, they're really easy to grab and catch right there. One of the biggest lessons I've learned about farm life is thinking through the little logistics on things like that. They make a massive difference between having a successful butchering day and a bad butchering day, because it's always like some little dumb mistake or some little detail you didn't think through that sinks your whole day. I've actually never caught the birds like this. I've typically used like poultry netting, but my thinking is actually with this setup, it'll be even easier to drive them in and I'll have fewer escapes. And so we'll have to see how this works out for us this week. And yeah, with a setup like this, I can even build like a little shade structure to keep them away from the hot sun if we have a hot day for butchering day. I even think I'm gonna get one of their feeders filled up down here. See if I can't coax a few of them in here to test this out. See if I have to make any improvements. You see, a lot of the birds have figured out how to slip underneath the gate. So you're gonna start to see a few of them start to sneak in here in just a few moments. You can see after like, I don't know, 5 minutes, I've already attracted a handful of birds. Now, some of these are hens. And so what's kind of nice about this system is I can start sorting the hens and the roosters from each other. So for example, like he's clearly a rooster. That red one is a rooster. She's a hen. She's a hen. She's a hen. She's a hen. That one right there's a hen. That one's a hen. Actually, this one I'm super excited about. So she's a hen, and you'll notice she's got this weird feather thing on the top of her head. That's because her mother was a crevecoeur, which is like a black chicken with a poofy head. So Barbara, who's one of my older chickens who's out here wandering around, I can almost guarantee you that's her mother. And then her father was a barred rock rooster. And so you get this incredible combination that I absolutely love. And she's got like this like little floofy hair, but she's got the big barred rock patterning. And so I'm actually gonna set her aside in a special place. So the other day, I did some work cleaning out the chicken brooder and like the baby nursery where, you know, I usually put all my ducks and goslings and whatnot. And now I've got everybody moved into here. And so this is like my favorite breeders are ending up here. This is gonna be the winter home of the weird chickens. Here you go, Captain Janeway, fresh water, just for you. So yeah, that's Captain Janeway right there. That's another hen that I really like the look of. I think she's a hen, I'm pretty sure. Part of why I've got her in here right now is observation. And then you'll see some of the other silkies are, I don't know, they're hiding in the house. Not all the hens are gonna spend their whole winter in there, but all the weird chickens will. Now, one bit of sad news I've got to alert you guys to. It seems like my pumpkins are hanging on, but by a thread. Some of the plants have died out with some of the recent frosts. I mean, even inside of here, particularly because some of them are kind of growing half in and half out, I've had some pumpkin plant die off. But I am still feeling pretty darn good about my biggest contender, even though it doesn't seem like it's been growing much lately. So I'm a little worried about it. All I know for sure is that my buddy Alfred has been talking a big game, and I'm afraid I'm gonna have to put his plaque in the front of my barn. We're gonna have an event here in Peacham, Vermont on October 18th. Anybody from the public is welcome to come and attend. It's gonna be like one big town pumpkin growing contest. And so yes, while I don't invite people to the farm, you guys are welcome to come to Peacham, Vermont on October 18th and join in on the Great Pumpkin Festival. I think that's what we're calling it, or something like that. I might even have like a little farm stand table set up selling some stuff from the farm too. So come on down and check it out. Hey, would one of you girls like to try this? It's like a baby pumpkin that I just had to knock off. Who wants to nibble? That's my finger there, Bluey. Yeah, see, Bingo's got the right of it. Huh? All right, you like eating the flower, but you don't necessarily like eating the pumpkin? Okay, that's cool. Oh, you girls are so adorable. You know, one problem I do know I'm going to have to solve with them is their ears. Like, typically when it comes to watering situations, yes, the birds have made this water filthy. I'll use water troughs like this all winter because they're really easy to break up when the water freezes. The problem is when it comes to the girls and their big floopy ears, I got to figure out some sort of weather protection for them because I don't want them getting frostbite. You know, I'm not too worried about their ears just in general with the air temperature, but if they dunk their ears in some water, like say when it's like 0 degrees Fahrenheit, I worry about that causing some real problems for them. I don't know if anybody has any advice for how to solve that one, but it is one problem I'm trying to think through for this winter for the girls. And now it's time to go check in on the cattle. Here's some of the cattle right here. We've got our yearling heifers looking more and more like cows at this point, working through the permaculture orchard. It's been actually really good working with them this year. I've taken a slightly different approach than in years past, and it's kind of working out, where they've been doing way more free ranging than like weekly pasture moves. And I've been able to exclude them from the trees for the most part. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with it all. I would say we're just about getting to peak foliage here on the farm. You look out on the mountains and all you see is orange and yellows and reds and greens. You look at some of the trees that we've got here, see they're all kind of in full color. And it just all serves as a reminder of how beautiful the world can be, but also the fact that winter is coming. I mean, would you look at that? That is a pretty gosh darn majestic view we've got here. You know, it's funny, I have so many friends and relatives who will email me asking like, when is peak? Like, when is peak foliage the time? Like, when is it happening? Like, when is peak hitting Vermont? When is peak hitting Peacham? And they're very focused on trying to plan their trips here to exactly when we've got peak foliage. And it's always such a hard question to answer because the reality is, number one, it doesn't really happen on any set schedule. Because it's been so hot and dry, it seems like it's hitting earlier this year. But then number two, I actually think trying to find peak isn't exactly where the magic happens. Like the true magic of the fall here happens over time, and it's watching the transition unfold day after day, and you come out here each day and you notice everything's a little bit different. Like to me, that is the magic of autumn in Vermont. But I also know not everybody can be that lucky. And so if you're looking for a real answer, Peacham, Vermont always hits peak foliage on September 27th at 11:13 a.m. So if you're thinking about that for future years, just keep that date in mind. So the paddocks are growing bigger and bigger as the grass grows slower and slower. You guys might be getting sick of hearing me talk about this, but it's on my mind a lot because it's something I deal with every day. You know, even though we got rain for the first time in almost 3 weeks last night, we're still so far under and still pretty in drought and everything's very brittle. And the grass is growing very slowly. My dream was to be able to hold out until Halloween without having to feed my cattle hay, but I can guarantee you that I'll probably be feeding them hay in the next, well, I got all this, which I would say is probably about another week's worth of grass. And then I have that row, which technically they could graze at least the first half. Right now I'm at 61 days since they were last in this spot. As they move quicker, I get ahead of my days, but also, as it gets colder, your parasite risk is much lower, so I'll cheat a little bit. But I'll probably run them through that pretty quickly. Like that'll maybe be 1 week, maybe a little bit more than 1 week in that back row, and then I'm fresh out of grass. And so my plan is to probably feed them hay up here for at least the first couple of weeks before the winter gets too cold, before moving them down to their winter area. But there's no doubt that I'm running out of grass very, very soon. Hey, Kels! Come on, Kels! Fresh grass, come on! Hey, Kels! Come on, Kels! Fresh grass, come on! Let's go, girls, come on! Move it or lose it. All right, let's go, girls, come on! Come on in, come on in. Let's go, Audrey, Annie, Macho Man. Come on, let's go. Everybody in, everybody in. Let's go, come on. Let's go, Joey Ramone, shake a caboose. Come on, Amanda, hug and kiss. Meatloaf, what are you doing? Go join everybody else. Come on, Meatloaf. What you doing there, kids? We got Meatloaf and Buttercup right here. How's it going? You know, it's so funny. Elvis actually, like every night, he seems to get himself separated from his mom. And so as soon as I put him with his mom, he immediately goes for the milk. Like his mom is like, I'm trying to eat some grass here, kid. And he's just going to town. Of course, I don't know how much he's actually getting versus how much he's dripping on the pasture. Yes, yes, I have returned from doing cow chores. I feel so welcomed by you two every time I come back. Aw, I feel welcomed by you too, buddy. But yeah, every time I come back down to the farm now, these girls just start yelling for me, and it's kind of adorable. I'm admittedly kind of here for it. Hey, Toby Dog, would you like a brushing? I bet you would. Come with me. Okay, Toby Dog, you know what time it is. It's brushing time. Yeah, buddy. Ooh, you got another burdock. Where'd you get into burdock last night? I know, you don't like this part. I don't like this part either. There we go. Oh, good boy. Well, I hope everybody has enjoyed this update from the farm. I've got a lot more work to do to get ready for our big bird day coming up this week. But I appreciate you guys watching the videos. And oh, by the way, if you pre-order my new book, Dirt Rich Living, right now, you also get a free copy of my guide to making videos for the internet, part of the pre-sale club. You only get that free printable mini zine if you join our pre-sale club and pre-order in the month of October. So just keep that in mind. Plus, every other month after that, there's all sorts of other fun pre-sale bonuses. See, I got it out. It's gone. See? Good boy. Good boy. Good boy.